Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Mike Hamilton from Trade the Easy Way, and you are looking at the Dow Index, and we're just getting very close to this 45k high from December last year and February this year. So if we can penetrate this little bull flag up here and sustain that, as long as we stay above this little apex here, then we can go to 45k, and who knows, maybe even 47k. Traditionally this time of year I would expect this to be a lot more rockier, but if we keep going and then head into September, October up here, I would expect a lot of volatility up here, and eventually if we are going to go much higher into that 47, then I'd expect that potentially maybe to dip in back up to 44.5 and then back up. So what, in other words, what I am looking at is, let's get the pen. I'm looking to see if this can push up and pull back. If we sit above the 45k and hold the 45k, then I think we can wind up to 47 plus. However, close underneath this apex, this support of 44k, and then we're going to wind down. Alright, so all the time we're above the 50-day average. All the time we're sitting above this apex, expect this to go higher and don't short. I have tried to short once or twice recently and risked very little capital and just walked away when it's not worked. Alright, so we've got a lot of data this week actually. Let's have a look. We've got ECB, I think. Let me just double check. Yeah. UK services, yeah, European rates. Europe's expected to hold at 2.15%, and UK retail sales pretty quiet week otherwise, so ECB is the highlight. Anyway, meantime, back to this. On the earnings front, we've got sorry, let me just get back to my notes. Lloyds and Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank is Wednesday, I think Lloyds is Thursday, so that is going to be critical as to whether this market can hold up or not, if these key banks are making money and making decent profits. Right. So, quick look at the dollar index, which is weak. I'm going to really flick through this now. So that's supporting higher market short to medium term. Gold is up on the weak dollar. So any pullback now to 33.50 is viable, to see if we can go and touch 3,500 and ultimately 36.50 if that can get higher. And let's look at oil, because I suggested you might want to get long oil today. Yeah, so we're holding up on the 50-day average. If you look at the weekly on this oil, so we had this big push up through the trendline resistance in June, pulled back, but a couple of higher closes in this weekly chart, and we're in this tight range. So if we really ping higher, we can do 80.82. I'm looking for this just to get back to these June highs. Cyclically, this is a good time of year to start to buy oil as we look to get stocks in for early winter. Alright, so but I'm looking at the cycle. Let me just get the pen again. So I'm looking for this to be a big leg 1, pull back leg 2, and wave 3 into potentially 70 through to 80. But for that to happen, we've got to close above 68 and obviously 70 to get any higher. I think it's doable. MACD is above the midline, RSI is at the midline, and like I said, we've had this big wave to the upside and this pullback. Quickly rattle through some stocks. I like Tullow. Tullow's my stock idea of the week. I think we have had, again, we had a decent wave to the upside. I'm seeing this 15 as a pullback. I'm looking to see if we can get up to 20 plus. Let's go to the daily. So Tullow were going to do some merger up here, and that fell apart. But this trend line is holding on the daily charts. I'm just looking to see if we can get back above 16, and then potentially go and find 20, 22, 25 plus. All right, it's fallen from quite a height up here at 40 last May 24, that is. I think that's an interesting pattern, and I think that is a good trade. I will get out if that goes under 13. Things like Polar, good dividend payer, that's still creeping higher. I talked about that some weeks back. IQE, this is struggling. So we had a good push up on volume on Tuesday. So if we close back above 10, then I think we are potentially going to see a good decent move. Otherwise, if that closes under 9, watch out. So you can get a tight stop on that if you want. I've given it a little bit of wiggle room. Things like BT holding up, and it's closing higher. So that looks like that if we get above £2, that could fly up to 250 plus. It's just grinding higher here. It's a potential bid victim. So that's why I think that is worthwhile. Wheat, coming across to commodities, is holding up. Decent volume of Friday. If we can close above $6 anytime soon, I think we can at least see. We could get a march into $6.57 on the wheat, but it is very range bound. And stocks, Sabre, I'm not in Sabre, which is a great shame because it's grinding higher. Hesitated on this one. Any pullback to 135, 140, I would buy Sabre Insurance. Let's go back to my main list. There we go. I like QQ at 475, 480. It's getting higher highs, higher lows. Let's look at Medtronic. So switching to US stocks for a moment. Yep, that's doing well. Here's Cox Insurance, keeping the insurance theme up. That's doing well. So overall, stocks are holding up well. This is Renew, RNWH. So we had a good move off of £6. Any pullback to 750 I think is viable. Tullow we've talked about. Vodafone. Vodafone, at long last, Vodafone's getting some traction, getting some pushes higher. Talked about this off and on. for quite a while. Very nice move down here. Any pullback to 75.70 I think is viable in the meantime. We've got a lot of resistance up here. We were up here in Feb 23 and then fell into this deep depression, I'm going to say, really, in the meantime. So watch out for that. It is as a sticky price. I don't like buying high. If that's the same for you, then see if that does retest 75. Alright, thanks for listening. I will get back to my regular slot after a lot of turmoil in recent weeks and months. Thanks for listening, and any questions, let me know. Thanks, bye.